Hi, my name's Rita Dunn, and I'm a community navigator with Michigan United here in Detroit.
Thank you, Rita. I'm happy to be with Michigan United and you this afternoon in Detroit, Michigan.
Awesome. Recently, there have been threats from the administration about conducting immigration raids and increased deportations, which has injected a lot of fear throughout our immigrant communities.
Well, I look forward to talking to you a little bit this afternoon about how our immigrant community uses the rights that it has in our Constitution and our law to protect themselves against deportation.
All right, great. I'll ask you a few questions.
Sure.
Congressman Gutiérrez, am I still protected by the Constitution even if I'm undocumented?
Yes. Everybody who lives in the United States of America is protected by the Constitution of the United States, regardless of their immigration status. So you have the same protections, the Fourth and the Fifth Amendment and other amendments to the Constitution of the United States, whether you were born here or not. And so let's use those protections to protect our families from being divided by the Trump administration.
Absolutely. If ICE comes to my door, do I have to open it?
No, you don't have to. You have to open it if they have a search warrant. Now, a search warrant should have a name. It can't just be a little piece of paper. It has to have a name, an address, and a cause of action, right? Now, you have the right to see it. So if you have a glass window, put it up. But no, it's just ICE agents just can't knock on your door. And what's really important is that you discuss this, right, with everybody that lives in your home, so that everybody's on the same page. Because if your 6 or 7 year old goes and opens the door, they've also opened the door for them to come in. You can't close it later on. So it's very, very important that you understand that they have to have a search warrant in order to enter your home.
Oh, most definitely. So how do I know if it's a valid search warrant? I know that you just went over it.
Right. Well, number one, does it have your address on it? Does it have name on it, right? And is it signed by a judge? This is not an immigration order. This is a judicial order. And it has to be a judicial order in order to get into your home. So ICE agents have knocked on doors, and sometimes they were police, but they're not the police, right? They're really immigration control and enforcement. It's very different with when the police knocks on your door than an ICE agent knocking on your door. So you can keep the door closed, right, and not open it, because once you open it, you've kind of given up your rights, right? And remember, once they walk into your house, even if the person on the search warrant isn't there, guess what? Maybe someone else is, and they can just begin asking even more questions.
Oh, I see. So what if they start to ask questions? Do I have to answer them?
No, you don't have to answer them. So you have the right to remain silent, and that's what you should do. You said, I don't want to talk, I don't want to speak. And if they have you under arrest or they have you detained, obviously you say, I have nothing to say, I'm not going to talk. And please, what they're waiting for is for you to feel so fearful that you use some document to say, see, I'm here legally. That is one of the worst things you can do, because then that will be held against you later if it isn't a true document. And so, no, you don't have to speak to them. The Constitution of the United States protects you against self-incrimination and not being able to, and your ability to say no. Call Michigan United. Call your lawyer. Call your family. Tell them you want to talk to them and you want them present. And please never sign anything. It's been so heartbreaking to see the cases of people who think, well, this will all be over if I just sign this document, and it actually can be a document in which you agree to your own deportation from the United States. Remember, these are not your friends. These are not advocates for your immigrant rights. These are people whose kind of sole purpose and goal, sole purpose and goal is to deport you.
All right. So can I record a video or take photos of the incident?
Yes, absolutely. You can record it with a camera in your phone. You can take pictures. You can make a recording. I would suggest don't get in their faces, right? No reason to kind of exacerbate an already tense and bad situation. But yes, from a distance where everything is clearly seen, absolutely. And that is very good because now they know, right? Because they know what the rules are. Not that they're necessarily going to follow all of them and all of your protection, but it's a very good thing to do.
Yeah, I believe the ACLU has an app as well, which you can record through the app and it'll automatically upload so that if your phone is confiscated, the video is safe.
Well, then download that app. It's pretty easy to do. Go to the App Store. Look,
Yeah.
you and I are talking this afternoon so that people will watch this video and get ready and have the power of this information to protect their families against separations.
Yeah, it's all about information. So, what if they ask me to sign a document again?
Never, ever sign a document. You want to talk to your lawyer, right? And that's what you want to tell them. And they will give you that phone call. And again, this is up on our website. Call. The number is here on the website. Here's what I would suggest. If you watch this video and you find it to be useful, call. Call now. Call Michigan United now. Get more orientation. Come on down. Have a navigator come up to your house, right? And make you feel more powerful and more comfortable with the knowledge, right, that you need. Because it could mean a huge difference in your life.
Absolutely. So, what if ICE stops me on the street?
Well, if they stop you on the street, they do need probable cause to stop you on the street. They just can't stop you right on the street. Now, you can ask them, of course, you can always say, am I under arrest? And if they say no, you can simply ask them, then may I leave? And you can proceed on your way. But it is one of the things that they are doing, right? They are stopping people, and many times they use the police. And obviously, if you're driving, so if you're driving, isn't simply say, well, Luis Gutiérrez, I watched this thing, I don't have to say. And if you're driving, hey, look, give them the registration, give them your car insurance, and give them your driver's license. That's what I would do as a citizen of the United States. Now, never, ever, under any circumstances, give them a false document, right?
Right.
If you don't have the documents, you don't have the documents. If they're going to write you a ticket for driving without a driver's license, that's one thing. You never want to be you never want to be in a situation where they're able to charge you with using false documents.
I see. So, if I am under arrest, then what are my rights?
The right is to remain silent and not say anything. Anything. Nothing. You have the right to remain silent. Tell the police officers they should inform you of your rights, and if they don't, you have the right to remain silent. Eventually, when you're taken down to the station or to the headquarters or to the detention center, they will give you the opportunity to call. Again, I think we should say this maybe a few times during the video. After you watch this, if there's any uncertainty, if you don't feel 100%, call. That's why we have navigators protecting each and every day the rights of immigrants.
Yes. And Michigan United offers a lot of different sorts of trainings regarding not just immigration, but also expressing your rights as a U.S. resident. Okay.
Well, there you go. So I guess we're echoing the same sentiments, and my hope. And look, this video is on the site. It has the number. Call. We are doing this because we believe in you and protecting your rights. This is our vocation. And the navigators don't wake up in the morning in order to make a living, because it's a job. It's a vocation. You know, like a good school teacher, the ones you really like were the ones that showed up because they really wanted to teach, right? Doctors that have a vocation for healing. Well, our navigators have a vocation for protecting people against abuse and for letting them know what their rights are and for maintaining the family integrity of our immigrant communities and their families. So call them.
Good advice. So what if ICE stops me in the car?
Well, if they stop you in a car, driver's license, registration, insurance, that's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Never say anything more than that. Be polite. When a police officer pulls me over, of course I have the biggest smile in the world, and I'm very pleasant, and I'm very nice, and I give them all the documentation that they need. A ticket is written, and I'm on my way. Hopefully that's your experience.
Well, what if I'm a passenger?
If you're a passenger, you don't have to say anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have no right to ask you for any information and any identification if you are not driving the car. The reason they're pulling you over is because it's the driver of the car, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's getting pulled over, the person that's driving the car. Now, if you're not, you don't have to say anything. And as I suggested earlier, right? Be polite. Doesn't cost anything. It doesn't hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, officer. May I leave? Just ask. And if it's yes, then just go on your way. Then they have to put you under arrest otherwise. And many times they don't have probable cause for doing that.
Mm-hmm. So, what if ICE or local police ask about my immigration status?
I would not say anything about where I was born, what my immigration status is, where I live, how I came into the country. Don't try to explain your way out of it. Remember, anything you say can and will be used against you. And if that is true for me, an American citizen, when I engage law enforcement, it is even truer for an immigrant. They will use all of those things against you. You don't want to say anything until you have your lawyer present.
Good advice. So, what do I do if ICE arrests me?
If they arrest you, wait until you're booked. You will get an opportunity to call your lawyer, to call a family member, to call someone, right? And then you will proceed to see if you can post bail and get out on bail and have a court hearing. But you really need legal advice at this point if you're under detention by Immigration Control and Enforcement. Don't try to do this alone. It's very, very dangerous for you and your future.
So, who should I call if I am detained?
You should call your lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you just, I hope, put like the number, right? to call Michigan United. And again, I would suggest very, very seriously, look, if you're watching this, it's because you have a fear,
mm-hmm.
right? Probably. Or you know someone, right? Like my grandson once said to President Obama, he said, thank you. I have aunts and uncles who now maybe won't be deported, when he expanded DACA to DAPA. And so we know that even if you're watching them and you're safe, you probably know someone. Share the link, right? Share
mm-hmm.
the video and have them get the information.
So, what can I do to prepare myself and my family for a possible raid or deportation?
So, first of all, call your lawyer. Call an advocacy organization. And you should prepare yourself. We've been talking about now for years, immigrant community preparing themselves in the eventuality of being stopped by ICE. You need to put documents together so that you have them, right? Power of attorney and who will take care of the children. And look, you have the right to call the consulate of your country, right? These things will be afforded you, but you should have them. I would suggest that people, keep information with you, right? And, we all memorize all kinds of numbers. Why not memorize a number that you need to call if you are in a situation that you're detained by Immigration Control and Enforcement, so you know where to call. You're going to get that phone call after you're detained and take it to a detention center.
Yeah, that's all very good advice. So, all right. Well, thank you very much.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Likewise.